Hello, viewer. My name is Braynoski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer On.
And today on The Inner Gamer On, we are going to be talking about the Game Awards. We're going to talk about some of the winners that got all the great awards. We're going to talk about a lot of the world exclusives that were showcased, talk about some of the weird shit that happened, and a lot more. Let's dive in.
And as always, if you enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe and bang that bell because we know you want to.
Bang it! And one of the biggest headlines from the weekend gaming industry is the Game Awards, put on by Jeff Keighley each and every year. The Game Awards happen. It's basically the video games version of the Oscars. And this year they brought a lot to the table. And there were some good things and there were some bad things. But there were some also really exciting and surprising things.
Hey, don't forget the funny things.
And there were some funny things too. There was a lot of different things. But let's just jump straight into some of the highlights of obviously the big... Now, there's awards that are given out here, but some of the thing that's even more exciting are the world premieres that they've pushed heavily more and more over the years.
But some are like, oh.
Yeah. Some
And
are
I
like,
think Xbox really
hey, here's a DLC.
Xbox took this like,
oh yeah,
just grabbed this one and was like, this is ours.
Yeah.
So we'll go into that.
Yeah. So, well, let's just talk about Xbox real quick because Xbox was like, oh, hey, we have a console coming out next year. We're going to come out on stage and we're going to tell you what it is and what it looks like. And they revealed the Xbox Series X, which I don't mind the name. It's not terrible. But I'm just curious to know what they're going to actually title the consoles, because Series X makes me think there's going to be like different maybe versions. X1 and X2 and X3, or
what if
maybe
X Supreme, where it's like the ultimate. This basically looks like they built a computer that you just stick into your living room.
It is really interesting, the design, because the way they presented this is it's vertical. It's standing up on its side, or not on its side, but it's standing straight up, and the disc tray is like sideways. And then on the top, there's this like green glow, which is where the air is pushed up out of it. So the way it's going to operate is it's designed a lot like the Mac Pro was, the trash can version of Mac Pro. It would take all of the heat and push all the heat up to the top and out the top of it. So the top is going to get really, really hot. And then everything else is going to be not. But it's supposed to make it a lot quieter than the other systems. But I mean, as far as I can tell, it looks pretty cool. It's a little bigger than I thought it would be, but it's not like, our first reactions to the Xbox One, which was like a massive ass VCR system. This looks like when it's laid down sideways, because it's fully like square from like the top perspective. When you lay it down, I feel like it's going to be 4, maybe 5 inches tall. It's basically the width of the controller. And then height wise, it's like 2.5 controllers of the Xbox controller. So it looks cool. And with that, they also revealed Hellblade is back. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. And it looks just fucked up. Like,
I'm so excited
and making noises.
I'm so excited.
Ghost of Tsushima, on the other hand, has a release window. So they came out with a new trailer, which was probably the longest trailer that they had here. They saved that towards the end, and they announced that summer 2020 is when we're finally going to get Ghost of Tsushima.
Surprising, actually. It was very surprising. I figured they would want to launch this with the PS5.
I thought they would too. I'm kind of glad they're not, though, because I feel like we need this game, and they want to be able to like retain people on the PS4 for this next holiday year. Really reminds me a lot of Sekiro in a lot of ways, except more colorful, and I'm hoping more forgiving. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Oh, yeah.
And then a shocker for me was Telltale Games announced The Wolf Among Us 2.
Oh, that was a big one.
That was a really big one. Yeah, because we'd announced that we had a video, or we did a video on in a podcast about Telltale getting revived. So that's another company name, but they're doing business as Telltale Games, and they acquired the Wolf Among Us IP, and they are bringing it.
This is a great one to like put your first leg forward on.
Hell yeah.
I hope they do a remaster of the original, because that would be awesome.
That would be nice.
I haven't played that one. Yeah, and I feel like it's too old at this point to even give it a go, because I hate stuff that's like super old and dated.
Yeah, this one might not be too bad, just because the graphics are it's such a artistic looking thing.
Yeah, but
it's not like the
same technology.
It's very stylized.
Yeah, I remember what it looks like. Yeah, that was that came out when we were in high school.
Was it? Man, that might be.
I think so.
Might be.
Or like right when we got out of high school, it came out.
We also had a surprise announcement for Fast and the Furious Crossroads with Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel coming out on stage to announce the Game of the Year awards. But before they did that, they announced their adaptation. When I first heard about it, I was like, this is lame. Like, I like the Fast and the Furious series, but it's just they've beat the dead horse way too much with it. No offense to Paul Walker, who did pass away. Rest in peace. But they just kept this series going, and I'm surprised that they've kept it going. But I found out that the developers of this is Slightly Mad Studios, the ones that made Project Cars, which kind of has me jazzed again because Project Cars was really awesome. And that was also just recently acquired by Codemasters. So this is basically a Codemasters game, which they know racing games more than anybody. So there's a chance this could be really good, but just have like a weird hybrid crossover with
Fast
lame
Furious
stuff. But I don't know.
All right.
Godfall is the first PS5 launch announcement game ever, which is surprising to see this. And it's a looter slasher, so melee-ish combat, but a looter shooter, and akin to it's 3-player co-op. So I'm thinking like this is Anthem, but as a hack and slash, and hopefully better. And I'm really intrigued by the idea. I love the armor. I think it looks really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And the monsters look really cool. And it's published by Gearbox. So I'm kind of curious.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. There's not enough information out right now.
Yep. Basically.
In my opinion. But we'll get there. I'm sure E3 will be a big launch for a lot of interesting things. Anyway.
Yeah. I agree. Their team consists of people that have worked on God of War, Destiny 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Diablo 3, Gears 5, Star Wars Battlefront, Titanfall 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Halo 5, Battlefield 3, BioShock Infinite, Call of Duty, Injustice 2, and Overwatch. Kind of a decent collection of people there.
So you remember when we were talking about back in the day? Well, we covered this in another news segment where Riot is trying to take on Blizzard. We saw it firsthand how they're trying to do that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Lot. There's so much here.
Yeah, so I didn't know that they started this Riot Forge group, which is like just publishing. They're just publishing people's games. So I thought when they announced this was a Riot Forge game, I thought it was one of the Riot games that are being produced. But no, this is like Gearbox Publishing, basically.
Okay.
And they have 2 games, and I guess if you're part of Riot Forge, you have to make a game that's based in the lore, like League of Legends lore or something, because one of them is called Convergence and the other one's Ruined King. And Convergence follows the League of Legends champion Echo in an adventure, while Ruined King is a different game that's being developed by Battle Chasers devs. So you played Battle Chasers, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah,
I liked it. I even reached out to the company. They want to be on the podcast.
Well, you better
never heard
reach
anything
out
back
to them anymore because now they're working for Riot. Yeah. And then Magic the Gathering is making a MMO. That was surprising.
Mind blown. Like,
yeah.
Is that gonna be good? Is that gonna be bad? Like, I feel like I don't know. Like, I know Magic the Gathering is a thing, and people really like it, and there's lore there, obviously. But it hasn't been big enough to the point where I think it deserves an MMO or like can stand on its own 2 legs as an MMO. You know what I mean? Like, how many people are gonna jump into that and be like, "Oh my god," or like new people coming in is what you want.
It is weird because I mean it's an IP that has a lot of like cult followings and stuff like that, but I don't see like Magic the Gathering Arena has a pretty good cult following. It's like a card game, like Hearthstone basically, and it's got people playing it, but I don't hear people like obsessing over it or anything like that. Yeah. So I'm more intrigued about Amazon's MMO New World that they revealed a trailer for here. That looks pretty interesting. I don't know what it's really going to be about, but I've heard the stories behind it are pretty intense and it's like very ambitious and it looks really, really good. So that has me more jazzed, but it's still an MMO. Like I'm like, it's MMO.
Yeah.
Whatevs. I don't need.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I highly doubt I'll jump on that bandwagon.
One of the shockers I saw here that kind of blew my mind was PlayerUnknown's reveal of Prologue, where they were just like, here's what maybe graphics are probably largely just a cinematic of like this grass and this forest and stuff. And
someone looks around real quick.
It's
and that's
creepy.
it.
And then, it just goes to sign up for the email list or whatever.
And I did because I was like, well, what is this?
Yeah. But I heard that because who would he pull over to his team? He pulled over some writer of narrative that came from some big studio.
Right. We talked about it.
Yeah. I just don't remember who it was. But either way, it sounded really. I mean, I'm intrigued. It's got my attention.
I'm curious, but we'll see how good that pans out.
And then our friend Travis was really excited about Sons of the Forest. Which is the sequel to The Forest.
That was he was running around my living room. No joke. He was running around.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
But it looked good.
It does look really good.
You got guns. It looks
fucked up.
Interesting enemies. I'm assuming there's building. I was watching someone talk about and saying they're hoping that building kind of takes a back seat. It is not like the main thing, that they actually focus on story and narrative. But then there is still building, but just not heavy hand. That's not the core game, which obviously The Forest is mainly you just build and survive multiple nights, and there's a story in there if you go looking for it. So I'm curious to see where they go with it, but that's awesome.
And then beyond that, they showed a new Final Fantasy VII remake trailer. So I mean, that looks pretty cool.
Coming, yeah,
we know that's coming. They showed off a Gears Tactics trailer. They announced some DLC for some places. They talked about Cyberpunk 2077. And but it wasn't like new reveals or anything like that. It was just like, hey, here's the people that are working on music for this game and what all that means. Apex Legends announced a Christmas event, which, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. I wanted to kind of jump back in, but now I'm kind of like, I'm not that excited.
No, I was like, this is all stupid.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way those things, all the new skins look, but to each their own.
I do want to play Maneater though. That game looks fucking cool.
It's been coming out, I feel like, for 2 years, and it still hasn't been released. Holy crap, release it already.
It's coming out May 2020.
Finally.
You can be a shark across the land and eat people.
I think this year is the year to release it, because you don't want to be out when Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out.
Well, that's true.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
Anyway.
But
what about this D&D game?
Yeah, the D&D game. I was trying to find the name for it. What was it?
I did not like the trailer. I did not like the music, but I think the concept of it is interesting.
Yeah, it's called Dungeons & Dragons something. But yeah, I just don't think it's going to be good.
Dark Alliance.
Okay.
I don't know. It's yet to be seen. It's basically what it kind of seems like from the photos and the trailer is it's going to be Warhammer Vermintide, except in D&D world. With maybe more story and more different types of enemies and stuff like that. Because it's a 4-player co-op game. Yeah. Which is interesting.
I was surprised to not see more from Nintendo there. I mean, we saw Reggie, that was cool, but there wasn't really any excitement around. I mean, I don't really care about No More Heroes, and then they had that Bravely Default game that I'm not super excited about. Some people were saying maybe we'll finally get to hear Batman. That didn't come out.
Yeah, the only thing they released was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 DLC. I was like,
which I'm like,
who's still playing this game?
Well, actually, I talked to somebody the other day that's been playing it every day. They're really into it. They really like that game just because it's their guilty pleasure.
It was fun when we played it, but I just can't see myself playing that up to this point in time with all these other games coming out.
Yeah. Then we had performances from Grimes, Churches, and Green Day, which was great. Hey, Churches is my boo. She's my boo. Okay?
That's fine for you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of these musicals. They're just taking away from the stuff that I want to see. I understand why they do it. I understand why they do it.
You don't like the music?
No, I don't. Every Game Awards, I cared less about the music.
You're so lame, Austin. You're such a lame person. I'm just kidding.
I listen on my own time.
What about the orchestral performances when they do that stuff?
I mean, it was quick and sweet. Again, I'm here to see who's going to bring home the awards. I don't care less about the music.
Yeah. I did really like the performance of Ghost of Tsushima, which is what they did at PlayStation 5. When they did the PlayStation trailer reveal for Ghost of Tsushima, they did the orchestral stuff behind it.
See, I think
I
that's
like
cool.
when they do that. I think that's really interesting.
Especially with the God of War reveal, you lead up to what is this music for? Obviously, there's a purpose for having the music, but there's an actual purpose when you're revealing a game for it.
Yeah, but Churches was she did the Death Stranding song. So
yes, she did.
Yeah, and then Green Day was revealing Beat Saber Green Day. So that was really cool.
Very nice.
And then I logged in that night into Beat Saber and was thinking it was already available because I thought they said it was going to be, and it wasn't fucking there.
Sorry.
I was pissed.